yes, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here to discuss a certain kind of space toupee. That's not true. We're here, we're back in space, we have no idea what's happening, and, you know, that's the long and short of it. Speaking of toupees, we're here with our full cast and crew. We have McLokin, we have Cherry Bomb, we have, wow, Sam, I guess that's just your name, Sam.
That's my name. You got it.
Like, you don't really go by a handle, so it's just Sam. And Johnny, who is also just Johnny. That being said, yeah, you know, welcome back to space with us, guys. If you want to support the channel, go check us out on Patreon. If you want to join the conversation, check us out on our Discord. And if you want to support this beautiful, wonderful cast, you guys can donate for that and fill the bar that will be soon in the bottom right-hand corner that's not jacked up right now. It'll be there in a minute. And all that money goes to support this cast, and as soon as that bar fills, Johnny gets to do whatever the hell he wants, which is pretty dangerous. Speaking of Johnny and doing what he wants, Johnny...
Oh, wait. Did I throw you off, Mike?
You didn't.
Oh, okay.
No, you're fine.
You sound like you're stumbling a little
I'm
bit.
used to yours. I'm always stumbling because I'm off balance in life. But I'm used to your shenanigans, so we're fine. Johnny, take us into space, please.
Jesus. All right. Previously on Blaze of Glory Holes.
Mm-hmm.
The rescue operation on the Straylight was going well. Levi was in a crawl space, hacking and cracking his way through high-level security. Meanwhile, Switch, Fitzy, and Sally were moving into rooms and corridors behind the bar in an attempt to go through the front door of the high-security area away from the club and the bar. When the three meet resistance, Switch attempts to talk his way through. When that didn't work, he tried and failed to get the drop on the guards. With Switch dodging blaster fire from one of the guards, Sally tranks the other. The result causes all kinds of havoc. Fitzy finishes the situation by shoving his way-enabled fist into the first guard's chest, and it was done. With that, the crew begins to move inside, only to find more guards behind the door that they're going through. 4 to be exact. But Sally steps up to the task and mixes up a little cocktail of gas to knock out the 4 guards without a fight. When they go down, the crew moves into the corridor, with Levi dropping into the hallway from the crawl space above. The physical environment of the high-security area is very different and looks to be a hybrid of precursor technology and something commonly found in the hegemony. Blah, blah. With this new turn of circumstance, Levi keeps working towards disabling the higher security of this new area. It's in this moment, though, that he notices something is off with Siri. When she appears unresponsive, he creates a connection with her and investigates. Inside Siri's programming matrix, Levi finds 2 distinct entities, the self-image representation of Siri and another entity that appears to be dominating Siri's programming. Levi acts fast and writes some code to trap the new entity, binding it in one place and causing it to take shape in front of his eyes. Calling it Tuesday, Levi and Siri begin to question its purpose. Turns out that Siri picked up Tuesday when they were retrieving the cube from the Praxium Institute. Tuesday claims to be a friend. Meanwhile, in Fitzy's head, a whole other drama begins to unfold. Friday begins to question Fitzy's effort to get Friday extracted out of his head. He also takes a moment to warn Fitzy about the other constructs like himself and Siri. He reveals that Tuesday's true purpose is to prevent lesser life forms from utilizing technology. Wow, hold on a second. Friday begins to question Fritzy's effort to get extracted out of his head, reveals Tuesday's true purpose, to prevent lesser life forms from utilizing technology to their own means. It's piggybacked onto Siri's matrix when it realized that the crew had picked up the cube. Tuesday wants to prevent the crew from using it to reach the destination that it believes to be the last known location of the And all of this happens within a matter of seconds, while the crew is trying to get back to Lynn's contact, who happens to be a business partner of the Pirate Queen Banshee and is the target of this rescue mission as we fade in. And oh my God, I'm really sorry. That was horrible on that recap. But here we get started. You guys are outside of a door. You're in a hallway. You literally have taken a couple of seconds from getting after Sally gasses those guys, and you get through that hallway. All of this happens inside of everybody's head, except for Sally and Switch, who are probably staring at Levi and Fitzy, thinking they're both crazy. What are you doing?
All right, Space Ghost Sano, it's time to get the fuck out of here. So we get the person. It's not really a person. Whatever. Yeah, let's get that thing out, and then we'll be done with this, eh?
Oh, I have an accent. Hold on, let me put that back up. I forgot I have an accent, guys.
That was all in character.
He got so drunk he became American. Then
what a fucking constant professional there.
I don't. It's been a long time since I've been in space, and the last time there was ghosts in my head, and now there's more ghosts in my head. There's 2 sets of ghosts and 37 other ones in my head. It's just it's a time. It's a whole different time, okay? It's been weeks. It's been seconds in reality, but it's felt like weeks. It's felt like...
All right. Well, it feels like weeks to me, too, with you rambling on and on like that. So let's get a move on. We got a job to do.
Right. We have to extract the man and then punt our way out.
Right. And did you solve your space ghost problem, then?
No, I didn't. They're still in there.
Too late. All right.
I mean, too late. It's been like 5 seconds since we're like, here's the plan. And now you're like, too late.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I know it's been a second and also several weeks, but I believe the plan was that Levi and I are going to stay here, and then the 2 of you are going to go, and Sally's going to protect you or something? I don't understand that part, but you're going to go extract the man.
I've literally blown up and shot people in front of you.
I believe Sally has the biggest kill count here.
I do.
Probably true.
Listen,
I have the biggest shit count, though.
Ominous voice
You have
in
the
the
biggest
distance.
shit count.
Sally has the biggest sleep count.
All right.
She just puts them out cold. They're not dead.
Look, as long as Levi's done with the hacking and whatever you did to my phone, we got a way to get to the guy. We'll get him out, and then you're meeting us then?
Yeah, and then we'll blow up the ship. Right? That's the plan.
No, what?
Oh, we're blowing it up.
I thought that was the plan, right?
No, don't.
Upper deck at the best.
Don't blow this place up. There are a lot of people here that could employ us.
Right. I thought there was a plan to blow up the ship or something.
Oh, if we blow this place up, that's a big mistake, I think.
Oh,
Problem.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I heard Levi had said you're going to blow it, and that's what I interpreted it as.
Here's what I will say, though. If it's a trade-off between not getting out and blowing up the station, we blow up the station. But that's a last-case scenario, okay?
Got it.
Excellent.
I just need to push this button and we blow up the station.
I said last-case scenario.
Oh. What case are we on
Sally,
right now?
I think you're with me. Let's go.
I think we're in like a middle case right now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Switch is just like, just turns and starts, because Levi put a map on my phone too as well. That's what he did, right? Yeah,
Everyone should have
that's what I thought. Yeah, so I'm trying to get to, we're like navigating through this, what was before a black box of Earth technology, and trying to get to this goddamn hidden space prisoner.
Hi, space prisoner friends. That's not our prisoner. You just were a prisoner here.
I mean, he's not our prisoner. I just want to point that out.
He's not. But so, just to be clear, Sally and Switch are going off to grab the rescue.
Yeah.
To do what we were hired to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. To do exactly what you were hired to. And then I'm assuming that Fitzy and Levi are space fuckery.
We're working on
we
space
gave them space suits. They're space coast.
We have to get the space ghost out of his head.
Yeah.
Otherwise he's going to die.
Right. And the only place I know where to do it is here in this space thing. The giant super technology space station.
Good.
Supposedly.
Good.
All right. So let's go ahead and we'll follow Sally and Switch for just a second. All right. Based on the way that the map is displayed on your phone, you're able to kind of navigate your way towards the holding location. The security in this area is so high end that there doesn't appear to be any other guards besides the 4 that you just encountered. Also, I'm just remembering now, I forgot to include this in the recap. one of your contacts from a previous organization that you took out very quickly, if I remember correctly. What was her name again, Switch?
Oh, the person we murdered.
Beatrice Bentley.
Beatrice Bentley is lying on the ground.
No, she's in the vent.
My close
her in the
friend.
vent. I remember that.
Yeah, Levi
I don't remember you sticking her in the vent, but I'm going to take your word for it.
No, we definitely stuck her in the vent because I remember correctly. I remember correctly that everyone gave me a really hard time for murdering my former close friend from the syndicate and then stuffing her in a vent.
Well, let's see. If I remember the description correctly, it's not really close friend, but like cutthroat associate was more the impression that I got.
Yeah, but they would have been like drinking buddies. You know, they were friendly. Sure,
friendly without being friends. Fair enough. All right, so you navigate your way, splitting off from Fitzy and Levi, and find yourself at the front door, or at the door of the sort of the holding cell. You key in the information on the pad, and the door opens. It's a door sort of room, and seated behind what looks to be some sort of a desk is a figure clad. Oh, okay. Am I roboting a bit?
You came back. You're
okay. All right. Okay. So seated behind the desk is a sort of a dark clothed figure. Really, the clothes are mostly indistinctive as whether there's like any type of gender implied into it. So they're very just sort of plain, but they're black. And the face isn't really there. It's almost like a blank slate. But you hear a voice, a modulated voice. It doesn't sound masculine or feminine at all. There's no hints or accents of it. It's just sort of this modulated sort of back and forth thing. But as it looks up as the door opens and says, "Finally," and it kind of comes around and says, "Are you the people that Alonda sent?"
Absolutely. Yeah, we're here to pick you up and bring you to safety. We're busting you out of this joint. Right, Sally?
Yeah, busting out and stuff.
This is Sally. She's the muscle. We're going to get you out of here.
Yeah, I shoot things. Do you like drugs? Oh, do you like drugs?
We can address the drug situation when we get back on the ship, I think, Sally.
Fine.
I don't know your name, friend, but we got to move. I don't know how long we got here.
It extends its right hand out towards you. And as you see the hand is also featureless, except for like its shape is that of vaguely of a humanoid, 5 fingers and all, but it's shapeless otherwise. There's no distinctness. You can't see the lines of the knuckles or anywhere else on the hand. And it kind of reaches out and it says, "My name is Klaus."
Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure, Klaus. They call me Switch. Other folks call me Marcus. Switch will work. Like I said, Sally, and I think you ready? Are you ready to jet? You got any stuff? Any things?
As you begin to shake its hand, you feel a little bit of warmth, sort of like a heat transfer in the shake. And and you look down at your hand at that, and at that moment, you begin to notice that the lines distinctly begin to form on the hand. As the hand begins to kind of like take on color and pigment and shape, and you're a little concerned because as you're looking at it, you see that on your thumb there is a distinct scar, and on its hand as well, a scar begins to kind of form. And you look back up at this entity, and you can see that its face is beginning to kind of like shift and shape into your face as hair begins to kind of grow in the same sort of like style and length of your hair.
Oh, I don't love that.
Oh,
I don't like that at all.
I'm not sure I like that, Klaus. But we can talk about that later. We gotta go with this job thing. You looking like me though. Not a fan. If you're taking notes, not a fan.
So as you're continuing to watch, a smile begins to spread on his face, on your face, that you're looking not really like leering at you, but just an interesting grin as you watch as the rest of the body begins to change, and you see that there is distinctness in the outfit as it shapes and changes into your outfit as well, including your long overcoat. The only thing that appears to be missing is anything mechanical. So there are no blasters.
Yeah.
And he when he kind of looks at you and looks at Sally and says, in your voice, all right, let's go.
Oh, you're not going to do the accent?
No, I'm not doing your accent. I'm not. No, that'll get me into all kinds of trouble, buddy.
I could have shook hands with them first.
All right, and so the three of you begin to step out as we cut to Levi and Fitzy. Talk to me, guys.
Well, we go down the hall where we were supposed to go and go into like the main hub room. I believe that's
what do you mean by main hub room?
Well, we were supposed to go down the hall the opposite way of them, the other two, to find the main like. Right,
you're going down the hall, but where distinctly are you going, though? That's the question.
I don't know. That's why I have you here.
You're absolutely right, but you've got all the schematics and the other information for this big secret area.
Do I?
What do you think?
Well, we don't. That's right. We have the schematics for everywhere but the big secret area.
No, you were okay. Wait a minute. If I remember correctly, you were able to grab some information specifically from Beatrice that gave you data about what was going on inside of here, including the fact that she would claim that there was a security feed going back into the room where all of the high-class villainy is happening. And you guys, and you realized that she was lying. It was actually based on your hack, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So you got a bunch of data from her about that. So you now have a better understanding of what's actually here.
I would go to the place that has the most concentrated technology, and it looks like a node room of some sort.
Okay, so you actually are being led. You kind of look at the map and you split off in a different direction from Switch and Sally, and you navigate your way around. You're being led sort of towards the back of this high security area, and I believe you took the remember drug, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's still coursing through your brain right now. Both of you, given the fact that Fitzy has the sort of the he's wearing the device that helps him see in the way, both of you are seeing sort of the interface of the technology as it's been sort of implemented as a hybrid between that and hegemony technology. And so you can see sort of the pulsing of the data as it's passing through the walls, and it all seems to be collating in the same direction that the sort of the floor plan is giving you in a particular direction. And when you get to that door, there is a distinct additional sort of power sort of hovering just towards the right side of the door that almost makes you think that it's a sort of like a biometric lock of some kind, except that there's no physical feature on the wall itself to indicate that there's any type of lock.
And Levi's seeing that, right?
Both of you are, because you're seeing it through the way through using your device, and he's seeing it through his drugs.
Oh, hello. What's that?
It's locked.
Can you unlock it? Because I don't know what that is.
I don't know. And he reaches over and like touches the door.
Why don't you use the virgin powers?
Well, I was going to see if just, it was some kind of like a biometric scanner or something like that, but, perhaps it's not, it's the way, damn it. Listen, you do way drugs one time and all of a sudden you're a virgin. And he, looks at you, having done the way drugs. So yeah, I'm going to place my hand on this door wall situation, and I'm going to, focus and try to attune to space virgin powers.
Can I assist him in attuning?
Well, technically, as I just said in chat, the drugs do give you space virgin powers. So yes, you could assist.
I'm
in some way, shape, or form.
It's going to be very much like a Patrick Swayze in Ghost, where I come up behind him and I hold out my hands with him, and I was like, I am helping.
You're gonna make a vase together.
Yes.
Can we queue up, Mike? Can we queue up on the stream some Righteous Brothers?
I can't because I'll get demonetized. I understand that you're helping.
Just let this happen. It's all good.
I don't know why you're pressed up against me.
I'm attuning right now. I'm attuning.
Where's your other hand?
It's right over here. That's not my hand.
I was hoping that was your other hand, and I was just doing.
Both my hands are in front of me.
Shite. Oh no.
It's a sweet moment. Okay.
You're not like you don't have a third hand or something. You're not like an alien or.
What do you want me to be?
I didn't. I don't. I just don't want that to be what I think it is. Okay. So I'm going to attune, Johnny.
Okay.
Is this controlled, I would assume?
I'm definitely going to say it's controlled.
Okay. Standard?
It feels limited to me, given the fact that you're only trying to control the lock. If you can argue a point for standard,
no, I'm just trying to control the lock. And then one bonus dice for Levi.
One bonus dice, and he takes the stress for that.
And then
how much stress do I take?
2.
I believe it's 2.
Okay.
Do you want to...
No, I want to crit it.
You want to crit it. Of course you do, because Levi... like, sort of like hands, sort of like kind of like reaching up with your hands and just kind of like doing it together.
Oh, I don't like
something about the both of you as you're beginning to kind of touch. Your hands both go in together into sort of this lock interface, and the energy, the light just sort of comes around, and just for a second, your hands seem to be one. Like visually, your hands it's really sort of off. And then the door slides open, and you're immediately both like just two separate entities again. Though it does give you that little tingly feeling as you kind of step apart.
Was I inside you?
I don't want to talk about who was inside whom at this point in time.
Are you embarrassed? Was that your first time?
I don't generally like when other people ghost up inside me. I already have a ghost in my brain, and I don't want you to be in
you
me.
shouldn't have been a space virgin then, if you didn't want people ghosted inside you.
It's never happened before, and I've been doing the space thing for like my whole life.
I've been doing it for like 2 days.
And you've already been inside someone, so one of us is doing it right, and one of us is doing it wrong. Friday, shut up. I see you raising your hand there, and you're part of the experience now, and this is part of your life. Yeah, he was inside you too.
Wait, was it a 3-way?
I mean, technically there's 37 of him, so...
Oh, fuck. It was a
an orgy now.
I'll wait, you can count it out.
We're going full space orgy.
Anyway, and he presses into the room.
I'm going to technically point out that now you can no longer call him the space virgin. And you step inside.
Gross.
And what you see around you is really confusing at first. For Levi, you recognize a lot of the equipment in this room. It's a lot of heavy surveillance equipment and very high-end sort of different task-specific like technology. There's a lot of security monitoring. There's a lot of defensive weapons kind of a thing. Just every element under the sun that you can think of in respect to high-end security technology is in this room. But the weird thing about it for you is as you're looking at it and you're seeing it through the sort of the drug-induced way, you're seeing these hot spots where the energy is, of the technology is interfacing with these devices, these various devices around the room. And it's glowing this sort of bright white reddish kind of a glow towards the floor, as if the integration is combative or aggressive in some way, shape, or form. And it looks like the technology is trying to fight it off, but and this looks like a transference of energy back and forth, the coloration of the code as it's kind of pulsing through. But you can see as the process is happening, you can see that the technology code is beginning to get translated into what is more of like a sort of a human or a a lesser being kind of technology kind of a thing, and so you see that it's like contained or controlled, but you can see that the technology is trying to fight it off. For Fitzy, what you see actually, in addition to all of this, is you begin to see that there are other constructs in the room, not unlike Tuesday and Friday. Most of them are red. One of them is actually blue.
Red
but
ones
they have not taken an interest in any of you yet, because they look like they're integrated and working with various elements of the technology.
What are the blue auras?
The one blue aura that you see looks to be. It gives you a sense in the way, very much the same that Friday gives you. Sort of this self-contained, sort of, not aggressive, but also not.
Well, red ones were biological entities, right?
Yes.
Okay. So blue ones are like AI kind of thing, or yeah.
They are true programming constructs.
Okay. Yeah, I guess when he sees it, he just kind of goes, "Oh shite." So it turns out that there's actually like a lot of people in the room here. There's another friend. We'll call him Monday, and he just points over to the blue one, and the rest of them, I don't know, but there's about a half dozen or more. They're all kind of standing beside each other, and I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, half dozen. That's what I said.
Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday are in the room.
Well, only the blue ones get names. The red ones are just bad guys. They're
only the blue one is Monday.
Yeah, the blue one's Monday. If the blue one is an AI like Friday and Tuesday, then it's Monday. No.
Tuesday is a biological entity.
Oh.
Remember, he showed red originally.
Well, balls. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking to you, Levi. You can't even see anything or know what I'm talking about. Friday, what am I seeing here? And he's just talking out loud at this point.
Friday sort of, appears in your peripheral, and he kind of looks. He looks around. He kind of looks. He looks over at you, waits for you to meet his eyes, and goes, "Shit." You
know what? This is going to get complicated. Hold on a second. And I reach out to Levi, and I just palm the back of his head. Just go with the flow. And I'm going to try to forcibly attune Levi so that he can see what I'm seeing.
So you're going to make a roll for this. Levi, you're going to feel something, and if you resist, it's going to be a contested roll. If you don't resist, then if he succeeds, he'll be able to share this information with you.
I'm not resisting. I don't know what's going on.
Perfect.
Okay. So he grabs the back of your head, and you begin to feel a little bit of warmth. It's a little violating, but you're not quite sure. And let's see what kind of a roll this is.
It's a little sticky.
Just a little bit.
So I'm going to roll a tune. I am going to push myself for stress and take a gambit.
Okay. What do you think the risk what do you think the position and effect are here?
Probably risky, if not desperate. I don't know which the two of them. I don't know what could happen if I don't want to fry Levi's brain here. He's pretty useful at blowing things up and hacking all this stuff for us.
The fact that he was able to help you with the attuning means that he's at least the biometric door means he's at least able to accept this. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's desperate in that way.
So risky.
It's desperate based on what's in the room, but I can see if it's risky because none of these other entities have noticed you yet.
Levi, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I see red stuff over there. I see, and it looks like it's fighting, and doing stuff over there. What? I don't know.
I'm working on it. Hold on. So all right, we'll go with risky and then great, right?
Wait, hold on a second. What is the effect? What are you ultimately trying to do? You're just trying to show him that the entity's in the room?
Yeah, so he'll be able to see Friday and all the other things in the room.
Oh, he'll be able to see Friday. Okay, then yeah, definitely great.
And then I have 2 bonus dice. So 6.
A 6. Okay. So the other entities begin to fade in for Levi. And around the room, Levi, you see that there are 4 other red entities looking like they're interfacing. They are interfacing at the technical points at which the sort of the hegemony technology and the technology are connecting, and you can see that they're working in tandem with it in some way, shape, or form. You can't quite tell if they're working for or against the technology, but you can see that they're at those juncture points and that they are part of what the conflict is that's going on there. You see that the blue entity is there as well, but more sort of in the center room and not affected by any of the things that are around it. But it's just out of the corner of your eye. You see sort of a fat 40-something sort of balding guy in a weird sort of monkish robes outfit, just out of the corner of your eye.
And as soon as he lets go of your head, as soon as Fitzy lets go of your head, you can see the glow in Fitzy's eyes, and he looks at you and says, "Now who's inside who?" And he lets go of the back of your head. Friday, you were saying there's a lot of other situations happening here.
I would just like to say consent is cool.
I said go with the flow, and you didn't say no. So I mean,
oh, just because I didn't say anything means go right ahead.
I mean, you stepped up from behind me and said, "I'm good to help you now," and I didn't have a chance before you were inside me, so fair's fair.
But no, that was different. You needed my help.
We're going to establish a safe word.
Banana boat.
Why 4 syllables? That's hard to say in a situation.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Banana boat? That doesn't even make any sense.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mike's stream. We're really getting a lot accomplished today. I would like this in the recap for next one. Our safe word is banana boat.
Wait a minute. Sorry. Let me make sure to note that down right now. The safe word is banana boat.
It's going to come back later.
It's important.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you say there's red constructs along the wall, are they the ghost constructs?
Yes.
Or are they actual robots?
No. I'm saying that they're. So do you remember when you were inside of Siri's programming matrix, and she appeared and she was all goth girl, 80s goth girl or 90s goth girl kind of a thing, and then there was the sort of swirling entity that you wrote the code for, and then brought it back in, and as it came back in, it sort of. It coalesced in sort of a red shape, and as it become imprisoned, that's when you begin to actually see what it looked like, right? And it's still yes.
Can I jack into the wall, and where they're meeting the hegemony technology and the technology, can I create a similar prison, 4 prisons to capture the red ones?
You could, but there's going to be a progress clock here. This isn't a simple task. There are 4 distinct entities that you need to take on. Tuesday was one entity in this situation. I will definitely give you a bonus die on the first roll because you already have the code to do some of this.
Okay. Okay, so if we walked in there, would they be able to attack us?
You stepped in the room. They actually haven't made a move yet. You're not sure if that means that they haven't noticed you or not. Even the blue construct that's sitting in front of you is not necessarily moving. It's Friday that's concerned. And Friday kind of looks over at Fitzy and says, What'd you do to him? And you hear Friday's voice for the first time.
Oh, I gave him
sounds like a wordy. Sounds like a whiny old, 40-year-old virgin.
Wait, so you put the space virgin in your head, and then you were like, wait, why are you guys all virgins hanging out?
Listen, I'm from a planet of warriors. I'm not even a virgin. And I was abducted by other warriors. You know what? We don't have time for this. There's so many ghosts around. We have to get them out of my head, or my brain's going to liquefy.
Where do we go get them out of your head? Where?
I don't know. But I think those 4 are bad guys. And that one over there might be a good guy. I'm calling him Monday.
Friday looks over at you and says, "That yeah, that works."
Monday works? Okay, great.
Wait, so we're putting a good one in your head?
No, I don't know. Friday, what? Okay, the bad ones are what, and Monday is what? Is Monday like you?
The bad ones, the red ones, those are the constructs that I was talking about. Those are the biological constructs I was talking about. Their job is to make sure that you guys never actually touch her technology.
Got it. So, Levi, Tuesday...
They're not doing a very good job, I'll admit, but...
I keep touching a lot of it. It's in my head and in my hands, regardless. Levi, Tuesday, red one. Friday, blue one. Guys in the room, red ones. Red one's bad, want to kill you for touching our technology. You make, arguably, our technology. Blue one might be good. That's all the information I have. That and my brain's gonna melt.
Friday looks over at Levi and says, "You can't see me, right? You did hear what I said."
Oh no, I did.
Did you need his explanation?
No, it's just funnier when he does it because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Thank you. Wait a minute.
So the red programs are biological constructs that are there against our technology, and we're kind of iffy about the blue construct over there because we're unsure of what its programming may be or what kind of sentience it has.
Yeah.
We are true constructs of code. What's your Siri, right? You did talk, and he looks over at Fitzy. He calls her Siri, right?
Yes, I call her Siri.
Oh, okay. Well, Siri is a blue construct, although it appears that she's modified in some way. I can't interface with her. I don't know what you did to her, but she's really broken. You need to fix her.
No, she's fine. She works great. I trapped one of the red ones in there.
Look, your definition and my definition of broken are really off. But anyways, right. She's okay in comparison to those. Those are designed to be protectors against Ur technology. I'm just here to make sure everything stays the same.
What does that mean?
What? Could we do this? The stay the same part out of my head.
What do you mean stay the same?
Not all of the Ur agreed that their technology was destructive and bad, and that it shouldn't be available to all of you. Our jobs are to maintain it until you are ready to be able to utilize it. What's going on here, and Friday kind of looks around, whatever they're doing appears to be in conflict of both my understanding of the situation and their understanding of the situation. I can't tell if they're actually doing something right or doing something wrong. All I can see is that the conflict in code is going chaotic.
I want to see if I can see what they're doing. And hack, like as he's talking, I'm like hacking in and like seeing what kind of communication is going in at those ports.
Okay. Is this a hack roll, or are you trying to rig something up?
It's a hack roll because I'm hacking in and seeing what kind of communication is going on. I'm not necessarily like trying to break any security. I'm just trying to see what, like, in the logs of the information, like what's being passed and like how is the information being converted from hegemony to Ur, right? Is there something on the Ur side that's trying to block the hegemony side? Or is hegemony side being evasive, or is it like putting the Ur technology at a blocking standpoint? Just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
All right, I have one final question before we talk about position and effect.
Yes.
How are you doing this? Is there a physical connection to this, or is this you're just trying to do it across Wi-Fi?
It's going to be a physical connection because it'll be quicker. If I do it across Wi-Fi, it may take too long to like find a route proxy and then come all the way over. So like where we're standing, like right in the doorway, I would like look around and like find a port and be like, "Ding."
There is an technology data port essentially, and you have interfaced with these before because it's very similar to the thing that you use to plug into Siri.
Okay. And I'm gonna try to hack it.
All right. So, given the fact that it's a physical kind of a thing, it feels incredibly risky to me. But I'm happy to hear an argument for either direction.
An argument for what?
Either direction, whether it's desperate or controlled. Because right now they haven't reacted to you actually being in the room yet. So that's an argument for it being controlled. The fact that you're physically interfacing with something and it appears that there is a physical interface going on that they are interacting with might indicate that it could be desperate. I understand story-wise what's going on, but yeah. I'm more curious about where Levi is going to essentially
Levi in the back of his mind is aware that doing this may activate them, and if they do activate, he wants to play mousetrap. So I could say desperate because I'm on edge and watching and trying to do this at the same time.
Okay, then let's go with desperate.
Because he doesn't know what he's dealing with. All right. Limited or standard?
I feel like standard, given the amount of entities in the room that could be potentially you're trying to navigate or get information on.
Okay.
Push yourself or take a bargain.
Let's do devil's bargain.
All right. Tuesday's going to get free of your construct, your in prison situation, and is going to wreak havoc in whatever is to come.
Wait, which one's Tuesday?
Tuesday is the one that does the construct that you.
Tuesday's yours inside Siri.
You prisoned inside
and he's
Siri.
Going to wreak havoc? No, I don't want that. No, I trapped him for a reason. I'm going to hack him later.
You think?
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know.
right.
Okay, so I'll just do the 3 dice.
Are you okay? You're not going to push yourself then and take the stress? Okay. Okay.
Oh.
Shit. What is up with these rolls today? Oh my god. All right. Whatever it is that you do it in such a subtle way as the connection negotiates, the data begins to start syncing, and you send out your feeler code to kind of figure out what's going on. It's clear from what you're seeing that these four red entities around the room are actually interfacing and actually working with the hegemony technology. You have no idea why, though. But it's clear that they're actually working for sort of the way that the hegemony, code and hardware is interfacing in that situation. But it's clear that if they're actually fighting the technology. So it's with that, as you're kind of looking at it, that something shifts inside of the four like entities that you kind of see around you. It's almost like you get an additional clarity to it. And at the core, sort of like the center of the shape of whatever it is, that, like the shape that they're taking, you begin to see that there's like a black sort of like core. It's not like gigantic. It's like a thin sort of a thing, but you can see that there's like a black thing, and that it is sort of like seeping out into their existence, and then that is seeping into sort of the way that it looks visually that they're manipulating the code. And so with that, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so they're working with the hegemony technology?
They're working with the hegemony technology to trap the like to work with the technology.
Okay, so the red beings are trying to fight against that.
No, the red beings are working with the hegemony technology.
Okay.
They are actually what is causing the bridge to work correctly, and the technology that is a part of the larger part of the station, this high security area, is actually trying to work against that, and failing horribly.
Oh, they're trying to take over the ship.
That's right.
Okay. I can only imagine why they want to do that. So I go, hey, Friday, look at this.
Friday kind of looks at it, looks at Fitzy, looks at the blue construct. We're going to need his help.
Monday.
Yeah. Looks back at Fitzy and says, I don't think we're going to actually get me out of your head today.
Shite!
And that's where we're going to cut back to Sally and Switch. All right. So you've got this doppelganger following you, Switch. Sally, it's a little unsettling because the guy's mannerisms really match sort of Switch's mannerisms as well. It's very unsettling, but also really interesting in a scientific way, but not your science because you're into drugs. What are you guys doing?
Well, I'm headed
the escape route. I'm following him.
Yeah, I
Sally's still a little frazzled by everything. Her stress is pretty high.
Yeah.
She's just kind of on autopilot at this point.
I'm just trying to go the fastest route back to the ship, and I think I already spent all my items. Let me see. I did. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm. Oh wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3. That doesn't count. Oh no. 1, 2. Oh no, I do have one more item. Nope, never mind. Nothing can help me. All right, it's fine. Yeah, we're just gonna go the fastest route, and we're gonna try to get out and hope that we don't die.
All right. So the fastest route, according to the sort of a hybrid map that came from the data that came off of Beatrice's tablet and the information that was previously had about the stray light, the fastest route is back in through the club and out the front door.
Yeah, I will. Well, that's the way we're going. I think before entering the club, they'll definitely Switch will stop everyone and poke a head in, just make sure that they're not on high alert.
We had a back door.
Oh, we did?
Remember, we let Levi float out of the ship first, and then go to an airlock on the side of the ship.
Oh
in
yeah,
space.
to set up the back door.
And then we had the ship actually leave and park outside the back door.
Outside the back door. Yeah, that's where we're going then.
The ship didn't actually go to the back door, though. If you remember, the ship actually slaved into sort of the flight navigation. It was going to require you guys to actually call it to do that.
Right. But we still have the airlock that we were planning on leaving.
You do have the airlock.
Okay, well, we're going to go that way, not the front door then.
All right. So based on the schematics, looking for that particular place, it's going to take you back through this sort of high security area and then towards sort of the back side of it, which will lead to the sort of the back room storage area where Levi actually originally entered into the crawl space and then made his way towards sort of the high security area. So in doing that, you start going through a series of, sort of passages or, corridors that kind of take you through. You realize that this high security area is a lot bigger than you expected just by walking through it. It's a little weird in the way that it seems like the map itself is a little it doesn't convey how sort of long or large this place actually really is in a way that's really sort of quantifiable in your head. But so as you're kind of rounding another corner, as you realize you've got 2 or 3 more turns, you begin to hear voices kind of moving in the direction towards you in the corridor.
Okay. Can I get a good idea of like, does it sound like just like one person, or does it sound?
It's a couple of people, and it sounds like a heated conversation. You hear two distinct voices, but you think that it's three people based on the interactions that you're hearing. But you aren't hearing it all in detail yet. You're just hearing names and a little bit of raised voices.
Okay.
But they're clearly coming at you, and you are sort of like around a corner at this particular point.
I think what Switch is going to do is he's going to like try to like kind of do the same thing where he's going to like engage like Cherry and Sally and Klaus.
Fine.
Yeah, Sally and Klaus.
They're the same person.
in like a fake conversation essentially. So it's like basically the opportune scenario is that these two groups just like kind of walk past each other, you know, maybe give like a not like a hey, you know, and then they're just like gonna go their own way. So he's gonna just try to basically do a, you know, all's good here, we're supposed to be here type play, you know, act the part, act cool.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to remember. Remind me. You are imitating, or you are. What was the group that you were imitating? That was.
Oh, yes. We were imitating the weapons dealers. What are their names?
Yeah, I'm looking for them right now. I can't seem to find it in my notes.
The Janus Society?
Janus Syndicate?
The Janus Syndicate. That's right. So you were impersonating the Janus Syndicate. Okay. And so what was the distinct way in which there was something that's distinct about the way that you introduced yourselves? Like, I can't remember. Was it like metal cards or something?
I faked a card.
All right. So what I was trying to get to was I was trying to remember if there was actually anything in regards to like it being like it was some like identifying pen or that kind of a thing, like a lapel pen or something like that. But it wasn't something like, you know, there wasn't identifiable elements on your clothes that indicated that you were part of the Janus Syndicate.
No. We just bluffed it. I just bluffed my way in with like the card and like introducing everyone with weird names and stuff.
Okay, I wanted to confirm that. Okay, and so as you're kind of, you know, coming around the corner, what's the conversation that you're trying to have with them?
So I think it's just like kind of like nothing conversation. Basically, I'm aiming for a consort roll, but I think it's probably, you know, it's like, all right, so you know, you got the goods. That's excellent. I think things are going real well. We'll get back. You know, we'll take a quick loop around, make sure nothing funny's happening, and we'll get back to the club. We'll report in, and I think you guys are doing a great job. We're ahead of schedule tonight.
All right. So as you're beginning to kind of navigate your way, you know, around the corner and, you know, through this sort of like corridor, as you see the three of them sort of coming, you see two individuals walking forward in light armor. But what catches you immediately is sort of on the left sort of breastplate of this light armor is the distinct sort of outline in red of what appears to be a trio of wolves with heads pointing in three different, you know, the heads of them pointing in three different directions. You immediately recognize that the two in front that are walking forward that are having the conversation are members of the Scarlet Wolves Syndicate. And as you're kind of, you know, you're kind of taking this in as you're trying to, you know, sort of play it off, you look behind and you see that there is one individual, incredibly short, head stuck in a data pad, just kind of listening to the conversation as they're moving forward. And at first you get an acknowledgement, you know, just like a nod and a kind of moving on kind of a thing. Now talk to me about the consort role that you want to do.
But yeah, I mean, it's very much the nothing to see here, like role, right? Is like Switch has been in enough kind of backroom deals and like in enough like places where he isn't really supposed to be, that he knows that like sometimes the best way to do it is to just like kind of play off that you're supposed to be here and like, hey, good to see you, Chuck, like heading out on the way. You know, it's like he thinks of it as like bluffing his way through an office building almost, right? Because like this is his office.
Right.
Kind of scenarios.
Okay. Tell me, do you think that this is a group-led role, or do you think that this is something that Sally could assist you with?
I would think maybe more the latter. I don't know that it's group-led because it's really like Switch putting up the facade here.
Yes, but so she's experienced this before in this particular situation, in this particular scenario previously, and it's failed horribly. Okay, so let me ask Sally this question. Would Sally be more engaged in the conversation when she realizes what Switch is doing and trying to present this, or would she
I think she's more worried about his doppelganger and making sure that the person can't see the doppelganger, because that's a little awkward.
That's actually a pretty interesting way of like helping, is that like Sally's just trying to position herself in a way so that they don't like notice that their faces are identical.
I have 1 point in sway. I mostly sulk scramble, so I could use a scramble or a skulk roll to like, maybe I take my magical jacket with everything on it and put it on him and try to find a hat. I don't know. At this point, Sally's realizing, oh god, this is weird in the not good way too.
So as long as you can narratively come up with a way to help me and you are willing to pay stress and Johnny takes it, you can help me.
It sounds like she has come up with a way that makes sense from my perspective of an assist. Just trying to change up enough about Klaus as he's walking with you.
The big question is
spending stress. I have 1 point left.
Oh yeah. You don't really have the stress to spend. All right, I'll take this on my own.
Do you want to know something? I only have 2 stress left.
So
I knew you were close.
So I will say that it's not the worst thing in the world to trauma out at the because like we're closing out at the end of this mission. So if you're going to do it, now's the time. But that's definitely not the worst thing to save the stress for like if you get shot or something.
Yeah.
So the one thing to say about trauma is it gives you an additional element of RP that you can play that also allows you to earn XP for that. You know, whenever you play your trauma into a scenario or a situation, it definitely earns you a lot more XP. The challenge is, of course, not traumaing out every time, and then of course you're finding yourself retired.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, no, that makes sense. You'll probably want to save it because I don't actually know. We may need 2 or 3 more rolls before this is over. So
you may need a doctor before the end of this.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's try to consort here. I'm imagining this situation seems at the very least risky.
Oh yeah, and I could argue desperate because it's the Scarlet Wolves. However,
I'll take desperate. I mean, I'll take the XP.
Sure. All right, take it. Take that 1 XP and let's call this a desperate roll.
Let's call it a desperate.
That's position. Let's talk about effect.
I mean, probably standard. I'm just trying to get past. I mean, I'm not trying to get anything from these guys. It's just like we don't want them to just not cause us trouble.
Totally. All right. So desperate, standard. You gonna push yourself or take a devil's bargain?
Yeah. So I do have stress to spend, so I'm gonna go ahead and push myself.
Okay.
And then we don't have gambits, so I'll save that. We only have 1 gambit left, rather. You know what? This is a desperate roll.
Hold on a second. You only have 1 gambit. Didn't Mike succeed with Fitzy on a risky roll?
Oh, did you get a 6 on a risky roll?
He did get a 6 on a risky.
I actually got a crit and a 6 on a risky roll.
Okay, so we have 3 gambits actually.
It was a control.
Oh no, 1 was controlled. Yeah, no. So we do have 2.
Yeah.
But I will definitely spend 1 since we have 2. So I'll take 2 votes.
Wait, 1 question. So since on the desperate roll I got a 6, does that count?
No. There's an upgrade that either we can take for either the ship or maybe I can take that would let us get them on Desperate as well. But Desperate, you get XP, and Risky on a 6, you can get the.
I believe that's a scoundrel ability.
I'll look at it afterwards, but yeah, it's one or the other. Cool. I will use the gambit and we'll take a swing at it. 5 is okay. 5.
5 is good. By the way, that special ability is called Never Tell Me the Odds.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So, yeah, excellent. Doing that way, you using that gambit saved your ass, because as you're walking by, Sally is able to, sort of carry on the conversation, but it becomes obvious really quickly that she's not. But you can tell that she throws something over, causes sort of facade, just in time as they kind of look over and make the nod. And you get a little bit of eye connection with them, Switch, and you realize that these are pretty hardcore Scarlet Wolves. These are not low level, sort of grunts. These are people in command positions based on the way that they look at you, assess you immediately, and then disregard you completely as they continue to move forward. As you're kind of making your way past and kind of doing that, you look back though, to kind of assess the situation as they're kind of turning a corner, as you're turning a corner, and you look back though, and you look at the person that was standing in the back with their head sort of, in the data display, and they look back at you, and you see them sort of taking you in for just a second, and you realize that it's Vorax, the data broker.
Oh boy. Good. Yeah, we're just gonna go. We're gonna just keep walking, go fast, and go.
All right, you continue on as we cut back to Fitzy and Levi. All right, Levi, you have this information now, and you have the feedback from Friday. What are you two doing?
What was the information again? I totally forgot. I got distracted by the Han Solo comments and.
Perfect. So you have the information that the constructs are actually, the biological constructs are actually working with the hegemony technology against the Earth technology, which seems counter to everything that you saw. You saw that inside of the biological constructs that they actually have some sort of weird black core, which is not the thing that you saw inside of Tuesday when you were hacking him inside of Siri. You also know that Friday believes that you need to engage Monday to help you. And it seems like Fitzy is not going to be able to get Friday out of his head.
Okay.
And I said, shite.
I'm like, all right. If this gets bad, just let me know. And I slide down my goggles and I get into my pad, and I'm going to find where the blue being is connected to the technology and try to communicate with it.
All right. So as you kind of beginning to really focus in on Monday, you can see that the reason that it hasn't moved and is not actually, sort of engaged in you all being in the room is because at its feet, it's sort of standing still, and at its feet there are 4 distinct sort of almost root-like structures that are branching out, fighting against the sort of 4 the 4 sort of biological red entities as they're hacking with the hegemony technology. You can see that it's actually Monday's sort of code that is broadcasting and doing it out, and sort of duking it out with these 4 distinct entities. You notice that his color is really starting to fade. He's not the distinct blue. When you look at Friday and you look at him without his constructs, his image, and you look, you can see into his code. You can see that his code is bright in blue and almost overwhelming. This one's is fading. It's becoming very light.
You're muted.
I am muted. I want to find a way to kind of strengthen his input. and output, and kind of looking through like where everything's kind of draining from him. I'm going to try to find a way to reverse that and have that go into him.
Okay. Is this a rig roll or is this a hack roll?
So I could argue for both, but it might be a rig roll just because I'm trying to rig something out. I can't walk up to him. I'm like sitting down with my visors on and like kind of like looking through the data and all that kind of stuff. I imagine it'd be kind of rigging just for the fact that I'm trying to reverse the flow. I guess it's a hack roll then, because I'm really kind of working with software instead of doing something, hardcore. So I'll do this. I'll hack.
Position feels risky or desperate to me in this particular case.
It's risky because I'm not going unnoticed. Desperate because I am trying to reverse something that might get me noticed.
Yep.
Standard or great?
Depends on the ultimate outcome. If you're only trying to affect him, great. Standard. If you're trying to affect him and prevent the work that he's doing to be undone, it would be great.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Push yourself or take a devil's bargain?
No.
Do you want to spend the final gambit? If you succeed, since this is a risk, so wait a minute. This is a desperate situation. I'm sorry. Right.
It's a great. So do we get one back if we?
No. Switch would have to never tell me the odds in order for that to generate a gambit back into the thing. So you guys might want to, sit on him about actually, taking that the next time he level up.
So I'm going to do only the 3 then.
All right. Then do it.
Show me potato salad.
I'll do it. Uh-oh.
All right. No, I'm back.
Okay.
So when you interface with this thing, what is the initial message that you send to him? Because the gender is not clear yet.
I send the message and I go, hello. My name's Levi. I am a human male. I know the way of our technology. I like long walks on the beach. There's a man named Friday who is like you, a protector, guardian one. We call him Friday because he doesn't give us a name, so we named him. And we've named you Monday. I just want to let you know that. So we need your help in restraining the red constructs that are here to try to take over the ship, and I imagine try to kill all of us for interfacing with our technology. And we want to preserve your right to protect us, so we can get ready to use such technology. Hi, damage, I'm Levi.
When you do that, the sort of the data that you send out strengthens the color of the entity and the brightness of it, right? As it's almost like it reinforces the construct for just a second. The fight continues on, but the energy is flowed. You see a data burst come back to you, and it only says 3 words: kill device power, across in blue. But distinctly at the front, it identifies itself as the entity known as Monday. So it's handle essentially, if it was you were receiving a text message, is Monday.
Okay, so I send a message back and I'm like, device location so I can knock out the power.
At that moment in your data display, the 4 distinct sort of stations that these 4 constructs are at are lit up.
Ooh, okay. Fitzy,
Yeah.
Do you know, and Friday, so Monday told me that we need to destroy the 4 consoles to disrupt the power.
Right.
Can you punch through the consoles and destroy all of them?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, okay.
And in fact, you know what? I think I have a better idea. Friday, do you mind popping back in my head for a little bit? I think I have something that I could use you for, and all 36 of your friends. I need like a juicy boost. Hop in there.
He looks at you.
I'll work on the phrasing.
I look at Friday and I'm like,
What?
He looks at Levi. He shakes his head and slowly begins to fade. And then you hear the voice, distinct voice of more than 37. It's larger a voice.
Oh,
we're here.
Too many. Levi, where's Siri?
it's like floating
Just
right
floating
there.
above your head? Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if she was where she was. This, you know, just in case of whatever, cover your ears and eyes, probably.
Okay, I set my visors to black and I go like this.
Fitzy walks out into the middle where all of the things are kind of tuning into this these systems. And I'm going to use my newest ability, Johnny, which is called Sundering. I push myself to attune to the way, which I'm about to do right now, and I cause psychic harm to everyone in the area. But I'm going to spend stress to give Levi, Siri, and Monday plus two dice to resist the effects of my explosion. And I'm also going to spend another stress to make it do damage instead of stun. So I'm essentially going to superhero punch the middle of the room and explode the constructs. You got it right there, buddy?
Okay, let's do this.
Cool.
All right, so here's what's going to happen.
Gotcha.
This is gonna go well.
Yeah, it's good.
No, freeze.
Because what's going to happen is both Siri and Monday are going to have fortune rolls to determine their phase.
Yeah.
Their pool will be 3.
Plus 2 for me.
Right. So the one die that they get automatically, and we're not going to go through the negotiation process. They're just going to get the 2 additional die apiece.
Cool.
So that's how that's going to work.
Yep.
Levi, of course, is going to have to resist it on his own. And good luck, buddy, because psychic damage sucks.
Cool. So,
This requires a roll, though. Is that correct?
Yeah. It says you may push yourself to attune to the way. So I assume it requires at least an attune roll.
Okay.
So I'm going to attune. I'm going to. We have 1 gambit left. Is that true? I'm going to use that last gambit, and I'm going to take a devil's bargain.
Hold on. Risky or desperate?
I think this is.
This
desperate.
feels like both.
I feel like this is desperate.
Okay. So desperate. Effect. I can't think of any reason that this is not great.
Yeah, I would say great or extreme, given the circumstances.
I'm going to say great. Extreme would destroy the entire station if it was successful.
Let's hopefully not do that. And I'm going to take 2 bonus dice: the gambit and the devil's bargain. So what do you have for a devil's bargain before I?
The devil's bargain is easy. The collateral damage of this is that it's a collateral damage in the structure of the Straylight, which becomes immediately obvious to everybody on the station, including everybody that's at this sort of supposed super secret meeting.
Perfect. But I don't know that, so let's go nuts. A 6! Suck a dick! I win! I'm sorry, hold on. Show me potato salad. Did I do that right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Show me potato salad.
All right.
Yeah, so basically like Thor landing, right? That's what it looks like. He walks out in the center of this room, and he just punches down into like superhero pose and just hits the ground, and you just see like basically like force lightning just shatter from where his hand hits, and just kind of. You might. Well, yeah, your eyes are closed. But he punched, and then it spiders up and hits everything in the room. And so, like Levi, you can feel it. You get jolted by a force of energy. Siri knocks around behind you. You can hear it, or I guess you can't because your hands are covered. And so Monday, Siri, and Levi need to make a resistance roll.
What is that?
So as the energy is kind of broadcasting out, you're gonna click on your resistance roll, which I believe in this particular. Say what?
It would be resolve, I think.
It should be resolve, yes.
So for you, Levi, literally click the word resolve.
Yeah.
And then you get 2 bonus die on top of that.
Okay.
Holy Christ.
Fuck me. Jesus.
Woo!
All
This
right.
is fine.
So clear 1 stress off yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on real quick. Take that stress back. So I get everything's black and I'm like, are you done yet?
As it's like sparks are flying in the room.
You just see like electricity going all over me. I'm like, I don't feel anything.
The chair you're sitting in has rubber feet. They're way-proof feet.
All right. So for Siri, I'm going to need you to make me a fortune roll there, Levi. So go ahead and click on on your sheet. It should say a fortune roll.
Yeah.
And it should be 3 dice.
Okay, 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Notes. I don't have any notes.
Wow. Seriously? Okay.
Fired today.
So, Jesus Christ. All right. So like the energy kind of will broadcast out, right? It's going to come flowing through, and it flows right through you, and you don't even notice it, Levi. And you hear Siri bitch for just a second, and then she's like, all right. I'm all right. As it just kind of passes over her. Now, Fitzy. Yeah. Monday's at the center of this. And so what happens here, as you go slamming down, all this energy just kind of goes out. It all of a sudden just kind of like feeds back into Monday and becomes totally energized again as the rest of the entities just sort of. What was the fortune roll that one for?
It was supposed to be 3 dice, not 2. So I wanted to see in case I got a crit. It was the 1 plus my 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
As it broadcasts out and kind of comes back in, the energy just kind of like pushes at those dark entities, those red entities, as they get fried as well, as everything starts sparking and flying. But it's at that moment, Levi, that you get a sense that whatever it is, that when you hear Siri and she starts bitching, you kind of pull your fingers out of your ears and you open your eyes and you look around. And you see, as the 4 red entities are sort of fading, the black distinct code is feeding back into a box that is now sparking and flying across the far side of the room. And there is sort of like this heaping physical wreck of a box just sort of smoking right there.
And it's flying?
No, it's just like attached to the wall at the back side of it.
And you can still see that way energy just coursing around Levi.
And they're all in there. That's for me. I should have that background.
You have a green screen. You can learn how to do cool stuff too.
At this point, I go. I like look around and I was like, "Siri, you did a good job. I don't know what fucking Fitzy did over there." Hold on. What's the fuck the box is? And then like go grab the box and start pulling on it.
All right. As you kind of you pull it apart, it comes apart in pieces. But there's clearly enough of it like left that if you wanted to take a moment and look at it, you could. But you're not going to get that moment because as all of this energy continues to kind of, burst out, Fitzy, you feel the sort of the psychic way energy just continue to kind of make its way out. And you can feel that the entire station structurally has like taken parts of this energy. And as that happens, an alarm starts to go off. And then like a light in the corner starts to spin red.
We were so close.
It goes Klaxian. Like there's this klaxon just goes wah, wah, wah kind of a thing as we cut back to Switch.
We were so close.
Switch and Sally as they're escorting Klaus, and Klaus kind of goes, "What did your friends do?"
Oh no.
You begin to hear footsteps coming all over the place.
You just all of a sudden hear over the thing. That wasn't us. Don't do it. It wasn't us.
Sally, it's time to run. Let's run.
Okay, I'm running. I'm running.
I'd like to call the ship so that it can like be there when we get there, because we set that up to happen. Like, we just need to call it, right?
You were absolutely right. I need you to give me a fortune roll.
All right, let's do that. Where is fortune on the sheet?
So here's the negotiation process for this. One roll. It should be under your.
I found it.
Okay, so it's one die for the fortune roll. What's in your favor, guys?
We set it up.
Yeah. It's a nimble ship.
Okay, it's 3.
Anyone else have any ideas? I'm gonna.
So far, still no one knows we're here. Like, until this klaxon went off, it's been totally like smooth sailing. It's not like there's anybody that would like be out there impeding our ship from coming to the back entrance.
Also, no one's looking for you, right? Like that klaxon is the ship's fucked up, so it's not like there's a breakout.
Right? Yeah. It's not like we're looking for people. It's like, oh shit, something is wrong with this whole ship. Away energy blasted it. It's not like they're intruders, right?
I would say that
I think that's it.
I would say that the klaxons is also probably alerting the normal people, and they're probably panicking, which makes you less visible.
Sure. I think that's what we got there, though.
5.
All right, so because you're in the high security area, you don't have the advantage of the crowd.
Oh, right. True. Okay.
Also, even though you're in this sort of the place and you've got this all synced and set up, the ship was designed to sync and slave essentially to the path of the ship. So you're not sure if that's going to be noticed or not.
Okay.
So does anybody have anything else? All right, then roll it at 3.
No. Yeah, that's all I can think of.
There's where the rolls went today. I found him. Jerry, you were asking where the bad rolls were.
There it is.
Sam was hiding them all.
That's where we ended this episode.
Hold on,
Just
wait.
confirming.
Sam, we were so close. We were so close.
All right. So as you make the sort of call, a different alarm goes off. One that you don't actually see, but that starts to pop up on Levi's display as the shitty security system that is otherwise the stray light has one distinctly good system. When one of the ships that are a slave to the actual navigation to sync up and fly within formation for the stray light gets out of sync, it notices and makes a big fucking deal about it.
Oh, okay. I begin hacking. And that's all I want to set up for next time.
All right. So you start to you kind of start to look at that. But as you begin to kind of look at that, Fitzy, you hear that there are lots of footsteps heading in your general direction.
We gotta go. We have to go quickly. There's so many people coming for us.
I got a box. It fell apart. But
grab all the pieces, because there's so many people coming for us.
I know I'm putting it in my bag right now. That's okay.
Can we get into a vent somewhere? Is there like a hole that you burrowed into?
Well, no, the vent was back there.
Shite. Well, I don't reckon how many I can punch through. So, you know.
Can I look to see if there's a vent?
Oh yeah, there's definitely one. There's definitely something that'll actually get you into the data port, or into one of the sort of the I can't remember what I called it before. One of the crawl spaces.
Okay. I look over and I'm like, oh, never mind.
Oh shit! I didn't even see that. Let's go.
Go.
And
Siri
he
flies
climbs
in. What about
So as the boat,
Blue Ghost?
mm-hmm.
Oh, that's fucking room for one more.
Monday kind of turns and kind of looks at the both of you and says like this, and reaches out, and out of what appears to be nowhere, but actually just kind of fades in from being invisible, another sort of like physical construct, like device, a drone essentially, like Siri, appears, and you watch as the code just sort of seeps in as the drugs begin to start to wear off on you, Levi.
Okay.
But all you see left right there is still that thing, and it just begins to kind of move towards the two of you. And as you're kind of closing in, and you're closing up the back of the vent, smashes through the sort of the airlock door to this particular room. In comes in 4 lightly armored individuals holding heavy blaster rifles and wearing helmets. 4 distinct emblems, on each of their left breastplates of the wolves, the 3 crimson wolves or the scarlet wolves who are there. As we cut back to Switch and Sally, you guys are running down the corridor, making your way. You're getting indications that the Glory is on its way, and it's got an ETA of about 30 seconds till it docks and sinks with the ship for the airlock to be able to open. As you kind of come around and turn around a corner, standing in front of you are 4 heavily armored individuals, all in really distinct heavy armor that looks kind of familiar from the last time. It looks like they're the Lost Legion, and they've got their 4 blasters kind of raised in the direction. And as you kind of poke your head around the corner, blaster fire starts, and that's where we'll end it.
Yay!
Johnny, really quick, I need you to give me your best Peter Dinklage and just say, "Eyes up, Guardian."
No, but yes, I miss Dinklebot from Destiny.
As soon as you summon the other fucking floating bot, I just want to be like, "Eyes up, Guardian," as it goes into the fucking tube. That's all I could think about.
Dear Lord.
Well, this has been a welcome back to Blaze of Glory Holes. The whole cast is what I meant to say is here, and it's super fun. I'm glad to punch invisible space robots and ghosts, and
You finally got to punch things again.
I did. That's 2 episodes. I get to punch stuff, and Switch gets to talk to so many people now. So it's a win-win all around for everybody. So I think we're really getting to see each other come into their own. Sally has a new grenade she's gonna throw at a whole bunch of people when Switch fails to talk to them.
Oh, I forgot I have a grenade.
Well, they're already shooting, so...
Well, perfect. Talk to their minds.
Grenade away. Grenade away.
So yeah, this has been an amazing episode back of Blaze of Glory. We're here with our full cast and crew, so let's go around, do our introductions, and then get the hell out of here. We'll start with Cherry. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
I'm Cherry the Bomb. Now that the Stardew tournament is out, it'll be RP on top of RP plus some tarot. Getting back into Atlas, doing some pirating, and also being a bad girl running the strip club. So come by on Twitch. I will be around this week quite a bit before the BlizzCon.
Ooh. And speaking of some Twitch RP, McLokin, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
You can find me here or on Cold Ball Press tomorrow night for World Tree Burns. Other than that, Twitter. That's mainly what I've been doing lately. Or Pokemon Go, because trying to get that exercise in. And I started doing yoga, so that was fun.
Nice.
Ooh, fantastic. Let's jump right over to Sam. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
I am Sam, twitch.tv/wizandfool, Twitter @dwizandfool. I'll be on AP Gaming Reels channel on Sunday for Game of Thrones, and that's about it. Otherwise, yeah, I'm around on Discord and on Twitter, and hit me up.
Alrighty. And also on that Game of Thrones game on AP Gaming Reels channel, Johnny, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Yeah. I mean, I'll be here next week. I'll be over on AP's channel. This Sunday, I will be back. I finally get to stop traveling for about a month until PAX. So I actually might get some chance to actually do some real streaming. And yeah, that'll be a lot of fun too. And then, yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's going to be it for us, guys. If you want to support the channel, again, please go check us out on Patreon. And if you want to join the conversation and talk about this game, please go check us out on our Discord and have a great time there with us. That being said, we're all out of here. So we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.